Level 1. A boy in a rented cart. You turned 9 years old in Akron, Ohio, where your racing story begins. 20 years later, the Formula One World Championship title will be decided between you and a wealthy rival. Right now, that sounds like a total joke, as your family has no money at all. Your dad painted your helmet with cheap, off-the-shelf paint from the local Walmart on a Sunday morning. It dried into the color of a school bus, and your tires had been worn down for a whole month. A new set of rubber cost as much as a full week of your dad's overtime at the local factory. Suddenly, Mason arrives at the track. His family owns a chain of car dealerships in Detroit, Michigan. His team brought a massive semi-truck, a private garage setup, and several professional engineers to fine-tune his cart. Mason loudly reads the inscription on your cheap helmet so everyone around can hear. Did your dad seriously paint this helmet himself in his own garage with cheap paint? Your dad nods yes. And then the final heat starts under a heavy downpour. The track instantly turns into slick glass, and all the rich kids start backing off the throttle. You keep pressing the gas pedal all the way down without a single worry or fear. It's the final corner of the last lap, where Mason is confidently leading in his brand new cart. You boldly overtake him on the outside line through the puddles on completely bald tires. Your cart slides heavily to the side, but you maintain control until your rival fearfully lifts off the gas. You secure a dream victory that all of his rich father's money couldn't buy today. An old mechanic in a dirty Denny's diner shirt gives you a crucial piece of advice. The car knows the racing line on its own. The rich kids have the money, but you have the real reign. Remember these golden words for the next 20 years of your professional racing career? Level completed. Before we jump into the next tier of the simulation, drop a subscribe so you never miss a new story. Thanks for being here and watching now. Let's get back to it. Level 2. Junior Series Driver. A successful wet race gets you a test, but the test itself comes with a massive bill. An Italian Formula 4 team offers you a seat on the condition that you bring a solid budget. Nobody gives you an exact figure right away until you calculate all the potential costs yourself. A full season in this series costs way more than your old house in Akron. Your dad takes out a second mortgage on the house anyway, for the sake of your big dream. He tells you about it later very calmly, and you both pretend everything is fine. Your mom organizes charity lunches and car washes to raise enough money at least for tires. You get the oldest chassis in the field and move to a small Italian town. There you eat the cheapest $3 pasta and call it your performance diet. Mason is now a Red Bull Junior in the best team, which easily wins every championship. His team has state-of-the-art simulators, personal chefs, and brand new parts for every race. You share a single mechanic with other cars and warm up your tires on the formation lap by yourself. Your engine is down by 15 horsepower, so you lose out to everyone on the straights. You start braking 10 yards later than every other normal driver in the field. On a wet track at Imola, this finally delivers a long-awaited and convincing result. You confidently slice forward through the wall of spray and win the race by 9 seconds. In the next race on a dry track, Mason crashes into you and knocks you out into the deep gravel. The stewards ignore the incident, and Mason posts a video with a mocking emoji on social media. You sit in a dark garage and tell your mom that you are racing for the ultimate future title. 6 weeks later, a letter arrives confirming your acceptance into the McLaren Young Driver Program. Level 3. Formula 3 Driver. You sign a contract with McLaren and enter Formula 3 with a mid-grid racing team. Here, all the cars are completely identical, and the only difference is the skill of each individual driver. You arrive at the famous Monaco circuit, where the walls are uncomfortably close to the car. Luxurious yachts line the harbor, costing significantly more than your entire hometown of Akron. During qualifying, you make a mistake in a corner and crash hard into the barrier. "Welcome to Formula 3, your engineer calmly says over the radio without any extra emotion. You feel like the worst driver on the planet, but your mom sends you comfort food from home. At the Silverstone round, you finally stop fighting the car and start listening to it. You stop driving with aggression, and your lap times instantly improve on their own. You claim a confident victory with a 4-second lead over your nearest pursuer. The commentators wonder aloud where this new talented kid in the orange car came from. Meanwhile, Mason is already testing a real Formula One car, as he is considered the next big star. A journalist asks about your dream, and you reply that you only aim for first place. He laughs patronizingly and writes it down as a cute quote from a naive, inexperienced kid. You win 2 more confident races, and the team announces your promotion to Formula 2. In the press release, management makes a typo and misspells your last name. You decide not to correct their mistake because you got your long-awaited chance in life. For the next 10 years, people will butcher your last name until you win the main trophy. You focus on training and prepare for the most important test of your professional career. Ahead lies the final step before reaching the top tier of world motorsport. Level 4. Formula 2 driver. Formula 2 is the toughest place where the hopes of most of the world's fastest young drivers vanish. 20 of the best drivers compete in this series, but open seats in Formula 1 are extremely rare. Being the fastest here doesn't mean at all that you will be chosen to race in the championship. Next to you competes a wealthy driver whose father owns massive corporations in Asia. He brings $30 million in sponsorship money and constantly finishes behind you every Sunday. However, he already has a contract for next year, while your phone remains silent. At the legendary Monza circuit, you execute a flawless race and time your pit stop perfectly. You come out on top, manage your tires carefully, and secure an impressive victory in front of the bosses. You lead the Drivers' Championship, achieving the best result of your young life. That same weekend, Mason wins his first Grand Prix with the Red Bull team. A reporter asks Mason about your success, but he dismissively replies that you're just fast. Instead of disappointment, this fuels your fury, and you win 3 of the next 5 races. In the final round, you seal the Formula 2 championship title just 1 lap before the finish line. Your phone rings late at night, and McLaren management offers you the coveted race seat. The first thing your dad asks about is the medical benefits and insurance coverage in the new contract. Then he hugs you tightly, proud of the incredible success of his only talented son. You sit in a dark room, coming to terms with the scale of this massive achievement. Only 20 people on the entire planet have the right to drive these fastest cars in the world. You got your chance, thanks to an email you almost deleted, along with spam and promotions. Mason is already waiting for you in the championship in a much faster and superior car. Level 5. Formula 1 Rookie. Your first Grand Prix takes place in Bahrain under hot floodlights among the desert palm trees. The team's massive garage costs significantly more than your entire hometown in Ohio. 60 people work on your car, monitoring every single parameter during the session. 1 engineer is responsible solely for the temperature of your new car's front left tire. As a rookie, you get an older spec of the front wing, while the new upgrades go to your teammate. In your first race, you finish 11th, placing just outside the points-paying top 10. Your mom texts you that it's a great result for the very first start of your career. She still taps your helmet twice before the start and tells you to listen to your car. You get your own physical therapist from England who understands your tough daily routine perfectly. She pushes you through grueling workouts, helping you deal with constant travel and icy baths at night. Later, you find out that Mason poached her to his team for a bigger paycheck. Mason sends you a message with a mocking emoji, once again showing off his arrogance and disdain. You run on the treadmill until midnight, turning your resentment into cold, fierce determination. During a wet race, you take a gamble and stay out on slicks longer than any other driver. You finish 6th, scoring your first valuable points in the pinnacle of world motorsport. You earned those points because you aren't afraid of a wet and slippery track at all. The team notices your potential, and your experienced teammate decides to move to another team. Management places their bet on you, giving you the best upgrades and the full support of all engineers. You finish your rookie season in 14th place in the Drivers' Championship standings. Now, you have to prove to the whole world what you are capable of behind the wheel of a fast car. Level 6. Grand Prix winner. At the Interlagos circuit in Brazil, a total deluge rages due to heavy rain over the track. Cars constantly lose grip and aquaplane into the barriers on the main straight. After the safety car, your engineer orders you to stay out on track and fight for the win. You keep the orange car on the track and cross the finish line first under the checkered flag. This is your first Grand Prix victory at 23 years old in the rain. Your dad cries over the team radio, unable to hold back his genuine paternal emotions. 2 weeks later at the Spa circuit, you get into a horrific high-speed crash. The car is completely destroyed, but you miraculously walk away from the wreckage without serious open injuries. The doctor discovers chronic neck issues that now require constant treatment and daily monitoring. You hide this pain from your mother so she won't worry during every race. Meanwhile, Mason wins 3 races in a row in his blisteringly fast Red Bull car. Critics call your victory in Brazil a stroke of luck due to the tricky weather conditions. You answer them on a dry track in Japan, displaying fantastic speed and skill. You finish 3rd behind the 2 untouchable Red Bulls, proving your high level. Every night, you apply ice to your neck while listening to the hum of a medical recovery device. When a rookie asks about your condition, you reply that you are ready to keep fighting for wins. McLaren offers you a new long-term contract and promises to build the car around you. They openly speak for the first time about the possibility of winning the championship together soon. You sign the contract, taking on enormous responsibility for the entire team. You become the main hope of a team aiming to return to the pinnacle of world motorsport. Level 7. Race Team Leader. Your name is first above the garage, and your new teammate is expected to support you. 1,000 employees at the factory in England now design the car around your driving style. Every engineering decision and strategy is focused exclusively on your final result every Sunday. The big 5-year contract has no clauses for early termination on your own initiative. Your dad says it's a great deal, but it deprives you of any choice moving forward. You live alone in a large house with many bathrooms, feeling a constant, lonely existence. Your teammate keeps a professional distance, and the engineers become overly cautious after your every mistake. Everyone around you is either your employee or a member of the pit wall. Meanwhile, Mason becomes a multi-time world champion in the best car of the modern era. Journalists constantly call you the most underrated driver among all modern racers on the grid. You become the second best driver in the world, but it feels like a mere consolation prize. You decide to make the champion nervous and win 4 races during the current season. You squeeze the absolute maximum out of the 3rd fastest car, constantly engaging in tough battles. The gap to Mason shrinks to the distance of just 1 bad race for either of you. Your neck continues to ache daily, and the quiet nights in the house become increasingly silent. You have everything you dreamed of as a child, but you sleep much worse than before. The championship title will be decided at the final race of the season between you and your rival. 1 race will decide everything you built throughout your entire arduous professional life. You have been moving toward this moment since you were 9, when you first sat in a kart. However, you don't know yet that you will have to race while fighting a severe high fever. Level 8. Formula 1 World Champion. On the morning before the decider in Abu Dhabi, you wake up with a high fever. The doctor forbids you from driving, but you adamantly refuse to sit out this race. In qualifying, Mason takes pole position, and you secure 2nd place on the starting grid. In the garage, your mom traditionally taps your helmet twice and tells you to listen to your car. The starting lights go out, and you begin 50 laps of fierce, wheel-to-wheel racing. Mason attacks in every DRS zone, but you stubbornly hold your position in every corner. Your neck hurts badly, and the high fever makes your vision blurry at high speeds. On lap 34, Mason attempts a risky dive bomb from way too far back. You anticipate his move, leave just enough space, and let him make a decisive mistake. He locks his tires, runs wide, and you cleanly cut through on the inside line. A late safety car bunches up the pack 4 laps before the finish, creating intense drama. On the restart, you remember the old mechanic's words that the car knows the racing line. You put full trust in your car, confidently nail the last corner, and cross the finish line first. You become the new world champion and cry tears of joy inside your racing helmet. Mason walks quietly to his garage, but later posts a message expressing genuine respect. You lift the heavy world champion trophy, feeling an incredible lightness after years of hardship. Now you have reached the ultimate summit you dreamed of as a little boy in Ohio. All your family's sacrifices and hard work have finally brought this long-awaited historic result. You stand on the podium, listening to your national anthem played in honor of your victory. It is a moment of ultimate triumph that will forever etch your name in motorsport history. Level 9. Motorsport Legend. After the first title came others, as your car finally became the fastest on the grid. The boy on bald tires transformed into the ultimate benchmark for all young incoming drivers. One Tuesday, you decide to retire from racing, sensing an unusual silence after years of noise. Your dad calls at noon to ask if you've thought about your future plans. The team retires your racing number and unveils a bronze statue right at the factory. At the ceremony, the announcer pronounces and spells your American last name correctly for the first time. It took a whole world championship title for people to finally learn how to spell a single letter. Your mom holds the laminated card that she always faithfully carried in her purse. You return to your hometown of Akron and visit the same old kart track from your childhood. On the wall hangs a beautiful mural featuring your expensive professional helmet, designed by pros. Someone painted your story, but got the key detail of your very first childhood helmet wrong. You decide not to correct the mistake, keeping the real memory only in your own mind. Mason now works as a TV pundit in an expensive suit and calls you the most underrated champion. You text him that exact word, and he replies with a warm, friendly emoji in return. He was always in the spotlight for the press, but you won the victories that mattered most. A young boy at the track asks you to share the secret to success in these tough races. You answer that the car knows the best line on its own. You just need to listen to it. He executes the next corner perfectly and looks back at you with immense awe and respect. At home in a glass display case, next to the trophies, sits that cheap bus-colored helmet. It is the most valuable piece in your collection, forever reminding you of the hard road traveled. Level 10. Sealed legacy and a new path. Now you watch the races from the sidelines, analyzing the performances of a new generation of talent. Your dad finally enjoys a well-deserved retirement, forgetting all about mortgages and heavy debts. Your mom continues to keep that same laminated charm that brought you luck every Sunday. Mason occasionally invites you to join him on TV broadcasts, where you reminisce about your old rivalries. You no longer feel neck pain, as the grueling physical strain is now behind you. Your old kart still sits in your dad's garage as a reminder of your very first steps. You found your own academy for underprivileged young drivers who can't afford tires. You help them purchase proper safety gear and provide opportunities to train on top tracks. One of your students reminds you of yourself at 9 years old with his incredible hunger to win. You personally teach him how to understand the car and not fear a slippery track in the rain. Motorsport has changed, but the core principles of grit and dedication remain untouched. You often remember that old mechanic from the Denny's diner and his simple, wise words. True talent and inner strength will always be worth far more than millions of dollars. You walked the path from a rented kart track in Ohio to the ultimate peak of world motorsport. Your name is forever etched in golden letters in Formula One history, alongside the greatest legends. You left an indelible mark, proving that a dream and relentless hard work can overcome anything. New generations of drivers will be inspired by your story of triumph against all odds. Every setback along the way only tempered your character and brought you closer to ultimate glory. You finish your professional journey with a deep sense of peace and a sense of duty fulfilled. Thank you for watching this story. Be sure to leave your comments and subscribe to our racing channel.